What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back. All right, I want to talk about something for a quick moment. All right. Colorism during childhood. I think for me, I don't think I really knew about colorism that much, really. And I think I've spoken about this, but I don't think I've actually made a video specific to this. All right. But I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on something. Like, were you guys aware of colorism like during childhood? Like, I feel like I knew, of course, I could see differences in, skin shade and, skin tones and things like that. But I didn't, I didn't know that it played a factor or played a role in kind of like the day-to-day experiences that I had with Black people. Um, whether good or bad. Hmm. But was I aware if they played a difference between people of other races? I'm not sure if I was totally aware. I don't think so. Just because I hadn't really had much experience with people of other races during my childhood. Um, like I like lived in a majority Black community. Went to like a majority Black, you know, like elementary school, middle school, high school. Lived or attended a majority Black church. My family is Black, so I don't think I really didn't really have much interaction with people of other races. Not to the extent that other people may have had who lived in more of like a mixed community or like majority other communities, right? But sometimes on occasions I'll kind of like think back, especially when topics of colorism comes up, and think about sort of my interactions with Black people of different shades, especially during childhood. And I kind of think like sometimes I may have been in situations that were colorist, perhaps that I didn't know were colorist because I was just so ignorant to it. And then it's like, well, should we talk about colorism with our kids? I think some people like we would be more willing to talk about racism with our kids. We feel like we should, right? But with colorism, I don't know if we really do that. Like I knew about racism, you know, because racism was talked about, you know, either directly or indirectly. But colorism, I feel like it may have been definitely not directly talked about. Perhaps indirectly talked about, but still. But when it's indirectly, you got to kind of make inferences and assumptions. And I don't, I just didn't have that. I was really ignorant. You know, I was just really ignorant to some things. It happens. Um, you know, um, you know, and for the most part, I'll say like my, you know, childhood and adolescence was not like filled with colorism, thankfully. But I think there were some moments that I think were some negative moments that were fueled by colorism that I was just really ignorant to. Um, like I said, I knew there was skin tone. I knew there was differences between us in skin tone, but I kind of thought, yeah, that is. It was just like it didn't play a factor. Like I didn't know that it really played a factor. I don't like if I knew what I knew now, how would things go? How would I think about things? Perhaps. You know, people, especially like, well, not just that, but I feel like in middle school, that's when the questions about like, you know, my race, ethnicity, those type of questions started to come up. And even then, it's like, well, why are these questions kind of coming up? You know, um, but yeah, I just kind of thought about that for for a quick second. I wanted to speak on it. It's just like, during childhood, I was just really ignorant to colorism. And as well, kind of like really ignorant to racism, but I feel like I knew about racism. I just didn't know like the extent of it and you know, how deep it runs. But I guess like I knew at least knew of racism, right? But I didn't know of colorism. Why? Why didn't anyone in my family, speak about colorism? Thankfully, I don't think it was ever an issue in my family, at least as far as I've seen. There's definitely differences in skin tone in my family. Differences in skin tone between, my dad and myself, and my mom and myself, my siblings and myself, my uncles and myself, my aunts and myself, you know, some of my cousins and myself. So yeah, we like that was I wasn't really ignorant to that, you know, we can see like we know how to color, right? We know colors. We learned that in like what pre-K, kindergarten about colors. But I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to just speak my piece for a quick second about that and see where some other people see their or hear their opinions about it and just get a different point of view about it. Because some people, during their childhood did know about colorism. I would say especially if you're like a dark skinned person who really like bore the brunt of colorism. But then again, some light skinned people have borne the brunt of colorism too. Um, um, so yeah. Hmm. So again, I just wanted to put it out there. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Adios and goodbye for now.